Hello everyone, hope you are well. I wanted to continue on my Legend series, and today I wanted to give someone who was one of my favorite bowlers and who was a master left arm spinner, and he is the most successful left arm bowler in the history of Test cricket, fast bowlers or spinners, and he's also the first left arm spinner to take 400 Test wickets, and he's someone who I would definitely call the Bishan Singh Bedi of the 2000s, someone who had beautiful flight, drift, a lot of variations, and someone who won a lot of Test matches for Sri Lanka, and is someone who has a staggering 9, 10 wicket hauls in Test cricket, and who was an absolute match winner, and someone who really was a humble person and helped a lot of young cricketers with his mastery of spin bowling and transferring the information and knowledge. And he's also someone who bowled an absolute magical spell, a spell of a lifetime when he took 5 wickets for just 3 runs against New Zealand in that 2014 World Cup that helped Sri Lanka to qualify for the semi-finals World Cup that eventually Sri Lanka won. And it was selected by Wisden as the T20 spell of the decade. I'm talking about the amazing Sri Lankan champion, left arm spinner Rangana Herath. He was born March 19th, 1978 in Sri Lanka, and he's someone who played first class cricket for Surrey and Hampshire as well, and he has more than 1,000 first class wickets as well. In all, he played 93 test matches for Sri Lanka and took 433 wickets with 34 5 wicket hauls and a staggering 9, 10 wicket hauls. And his best performance was 9 for 127 in one innings against Pakistan, a test series where he was a man of the match in both the test and also the man of the series. And Rangana Herath, like I said, he's the first left arm spinner to pass 400 test match wickets. And he did eventually overtake Wasim Akram as the most successful left arm bowler in the cricket history. He's also the oldest player in cricket history to take a hat trick and was the first Sri Lankan spinner to take a hat trick when he took a hat trick against Australia. And he's also the third bowler in the cricket history to take a 5 wicket haul against all test playing nations, which is an amazing record as well. And he's the oldest cricketer, oldest bowler to get to 350 and 400 test wickets. And he was very highly thought of by everyone around the world. And Kumar Sangakkara, Jayawardena, they all gave great tributes to Herath when he retired and said even he was said Sangakkara said he was immensely talented and that I would never say that he overachieved because 433 wickets, even 433 wickets doesn't do enough justice for Herath because he was just a champion bowler. I've seen him operate many times, and every time Herath was bowling, I always watched him bowl. It was just beautiful to watch how he flighted the ball. For any upcoming youngsters, he is one of the best examples to follow. He really used to use the flight well, a lot of guile in his bowling, and he used to get a lot of drift, and he used to really think out a batsman. Was highly intelligent. He had the subtle variations, and he gave trouble to batsmen all around the world. And he didn't just take wickets on the Asian subcontinent. In 2011, the tour of South Africa, the second Test match, he took 9 wickets against South Africa, and he was the man of the match, and Sri Lanka won by 208 runs, and that was Sri Lanka's first ever test win on South African soil. So he's someone who definitely won matches for Sri Lanka outside Sri Lanka as well, not just on the subcontinent. And he was really, really admired and respected all around the world. And in 2016, once when Angelo Matthews was injured, he took over the captaincy of Sri Lanka, and that made him the oldest cricket captain ever at his age. And he is also someone who has played longest for Sri Lanka. He has played almost 20 years. He made his test debut long before, but he only started establishing later into the 2000s, and he single handedly won a lot of test matches for Sri Lanka. He's the main reason why Sri Lanka won a lot of test matches and they were like impossible to beat at home. And he's also the third bowler to take 100 test wickets at one venue when he took his 100th wicket at goal in Sri Lanka. I've said about some bowlers, batsmen getting a lot of runs and wickets at certain grounds, and he's one of them as well. And he was, like I said, he was just excellent, and he was such a team player, and he was a great gentleman of this game. I mean, he always, I've read a lot about it. He has always had time for youngsters, and he always helped youngsters. He was also the spin consultant for the Bangladesh cricket team, and Herath has helped a lot of youngsters, and he always loved to groom youngsters who went to him to learn, and obviously he had a lot to pass on to. I mean, he was just a master in operation. He was just a master left arm spinner, and I really miss a bowler like Rangana Herath. He really kept me glued to the television every time Herath bowled. I always used to love the way he used to flight the ball and read the batsman out. And if you were a batsman, you were always going to get out to him because he really was so intelligent. He had so much control over his bowling, and he was such a well spoken, very humble, grounded person, and he always was there for the team. He always put his team first, the needs of the team first, and he took a lot of pressure on himself at that time, and he was the bowler that Sri Lanka looked up to, and he's the reason why Sri Lanka was such a dominant force at that time. After some retirements as well, but Rangana Herath will always be remembered as a legend. So I'm just rounding up. He's the most successful left-arm bowler in Test history with 433 wickets. First left-arm spinner to take 400 Test wickets, and is also the first Sri Lankan spinner to take a hat trick in Test cricket, and also has more than 1,000 first-class wickets. And he's someone who was the oldest bowler to take 350 and 400 test wickets, and also the oldest captain when he captained Sri Lanka in 2016, and also bowling that magical spell, 5 wickets for just 3 runs against New Zealand in 3.3 overs in 2014 World Cup that took Sri Lanka to the semi-finals, the World Cup that Sri Lanka eventually won in 2014. So he could easily be called a World Cup winner single-handedly, because if not for his performance, Sri Lanka wouldn't have been in the semifinals. So I just want to say thank you so much to Rangana Herath. Even from a personal note, you have always been one of my favorite bowlers. It was always an absolute pleasure and absolute honor to watch you bowl, and it was just a learning curve. Everything you did on the field, I mean, the way you flighted the ball, the guile you had, the variations, the patience that you had, and the way you used to think out a batsman, it always reminded me of Bishan Singh Bedi, and that is why I said it is a huge compliment, a huge statement when I say that you were the Bishan Singh Bedi of the 2000s, someone who helped a lot of youngsters. And thank you so much for all your wonderful contribution to Sri Lankan cricket, for world cricket, for being a top bowler in world cricket. And you'll always be remembered as an absolute legend, an absolutely stunning bowler who gave a lot to world cricket, and especially helping a lot of youngsters come up. Your contributions to cricket will never be forgotten, not just to Sri Lankan cricket, to world cricket. Thank you so much again. And thank you everyone for joining, and thank you for supporting me. Please keep supporting me, and your support means a lot to me. Thank you everyone. Take care. God bless you.